Israel Defense Forces, IDF, has confirmed that the Middle East country soldiers carried out massive airstrikes on multiple locations in Yemen capital of Sanaa on Sunday, while Nasruddin Amer, the chairman of Yemen's Saba news agency and the vice president of the media authority of Ansar Allah Movement that has Houthis group as one of its organizations, said the air defenses were able to thwart the majority of the Israeli attacks and confronted several of its combat formations, which he said forced Israeli soldiers to retreat, with the Houthis fighters using locally manufactured air defense systems. According to Israel Defense Force, multiple military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime in Sanaa, Yemen, including a military site in which the presidency palace is located, the Adar and Houthis power plants, and a site for storing fuel, all used for the military activity of the Houthi regime. These strikes were carried out in response to repeated Houthi attacks on Israel with missiles and UAVs. The Houthis, backed by Iran, continue to exploit civilian infrastructure for terror purposes. News agencies reported that Israel launched the airstrikes in Yemen's capital Sanaa, hitting areas near the presidential complex and missile bases, with additional strikes reported in Hodeidah. It was gathered that Israel carried out the strikes in response to days of attempted Houthi drone and ballistic missile attack against Israel. Local media reported with a photograph showing the Israel Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, Defense Minister, Katz, and IDF Chief, Ansar Allah Movement, at the Israeli Air Force Command Center in Tel Aviv, observing today's strikes on Yemen capital on a military facility near the presidential palace, a fuel depot, and 2 power stations. Israeli airstrikes hit Yemen's capital on Sunday, just days after the Houthi rebels fired a missile toward Israel that its military described as the first cluster bomb the rebels had fired at it since 2023. The rebels' Al Masirah satellite television reported a strike on an oil company, and video on social media showed a fireball erupting there. Nasruddin Amer, deputy head of Ansar Allah's, Houthis, media authority and chairman of Yemen's Saba news agency, said Yemeni air defenses intercepted most of the Israeli air raids, forcing several formations to withdraw. He stressed that Yemen's military operations in support of Gaza will continue until the aggression ends and the blockade is lifted. Amer dismissed Israel's targeting of a civilian fuel station in Sanaa as an act of barbarism and bankruptcy, with no impact on military capabilities, warning it will only trigger further escalation. In quotes, he said, "Targeting a civilian fuel station on a main street will have no impact on military